Remember that guy, Will Thomas? Yeah, you know, the guy with the mental illness who decided to swim in women's competition in college, break all kinds of records.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
Well, it turns out that one of the women he beat says he flashed him his balls.
What the fuck?
I'm Jazz Berganzo, and this, oh, I believe it, is what's next. Happy Friday, guys. Jazz Berganzo, what's next? Your daily dose of common sense, facts, and salt. Well, who didn't see this coming? Remember Will Thomas? Well, you may be more familiar with his name, his other name, Leah. Well, Leah Thomas, or I'm sorry, Will Thomas, the man with the mental illness who decided, well, you know, I'm not that great of a men's collegiate swimmer. I'm going to enter the women's ranks. And enter he did, breaking all kinds of records. You had those on the left, you know, the political side, the media side, the Hollywood side, giving him praise, waving pom-poms, doing handstands. Oh, so stunning, so brave. Well, seems like the chickens have come home to roost. In one of the competitions, of course, he beat several women, real women. One of the women, Riley Gaines, who is seen in a photo with him, says that in the locker room, yeah, he showed him her balls. I'm sorry, his balls. Let me be factually correct. Yikes. This comes out of Fox News. Will Thomas exposed his jewels in women's locker room after meet. Riley Gaines says he dropped his pants. Gaines is calling on the NCAA to establish separate locker rooms for trans athletes participating in female sports. Of course, as you can see there, that is the video, and of course, that is the picture of her. And of course, she's thrilled. Women's sports advocate Riley Gaines is calling on the NCAA to establish separate locker rooms for trans athletes in competing in female sports after she and her teammates were forced to undress in front of then University of Pennsylvania swimmer Will Thomas after a meet last year. In an interview on American Sports Wednesday, the 12-time All-American, 5-time SEC champion urged the National Collegiate Athletic Association, NCAA, to make separate locker rooms for trans athletes, recounting her own discomfort when she was exposed to Thomas's jewels in a women's locker room after a meet. Let's be frank here. Basically, he dropped his pants and showed him his balls. We were not forewarned beforehand. We were not be sharing a locker room with, quote, Leah. Will, we did not give our consent. They didn't ask us for our consent. But in that locker room, we turned around and there was a 6'4" man dropping his pants and watching us undress. We were exposed to his genitalia. Thomas had reportedly started the process of hormone therapy, but hadn't gone that extra step in lopping them off. Quote, that to me was worse than the competition. Not even probably a year, 2 years ago, that would have been considered a form of sexual assault, voyeurism. But now, now they're just allowed to have this happen. They're allowed it to happen. It's almost as these large organizations are encouraging it to happen. Oh, that's a fact. They are. Gaines, who attended Dementia's State of the Union address on Tuesday as a guest of Representative Lisa McClain out of Michigan, has been at the forefront of ensuring female athletes to have equal opportunity to perform in women's sports, as she was given no choice to compete against Thomas, a dude, in a national swimming competition where the two were tied for 5th place. The match sparked ongoing debate on trans athletes' eligibility, with critics citing unfair physical advantages, which is actually fact: height, muscle mass, heart, and lung size. Ask Michael Phelps. As a spokeswoman for the Independent Women's Forum, Gaines said that NCAA not only fails to protect the women's integrity in their sports, but has become a champion of trans athletes in recent years. Of course, after NCAA championships, the NCAA then nominated Thomas as NCAA Woman of the Year. Yeah. Ridiculous. So we are celebrating this movement. There's not something that happened by chance or off and on one-off basis, she said, they're encouraging men who have mental illnesses to compete in women's sports. Gaines also faulted the White House for promoting the gender ideology propaganda, accusing administration of pushing more female-identifying men as, i.e., mental illness, competing in women's sports across the country. Honestly, you have all these people who tell me all the time how courageous it is, how stunning and brave it is to speak out. And truthfully, does it make someone brave to acknowledge that women deserve equal opportunities? She asked Fox News host John Roberts. That's how far we've come in a society and within our culture. After graduating, Gaines plans on pursuing a career in dentistry, but as the White House and others encourage participation of trans athletes in women's sports, the 22-year-old said she put her dental school ambitions on hold to become an advocate for female athletes who are afraid to speak out. The fact of the matter is that when you have someone like Riley Gaines, who was forced into this spotlight, you take Will Thomas out of this, Riley Gaines either finishes 4th or top 3. And then moves on to, who knows, maybe to the Olympic trials. But because of Will Thomas, because of this guy, it still boggles the mind that the NCAA would actually give this dude, this mentally ill dude, a nominee for Woman of the Year. It's absolutely pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic and disgraceful. But when it comes to dropping his pants in the locker room, that doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me. Because how many stories do we have to go back over the last, 3 to 5 years of men saying, I'm a woman, goes into the woman's locker room and becomes a voyeur, a pervert, peeping Tom. In other cases, a pedo. Not in Will Thomas's case. In Will Thomas's case, the guy is severely mentally ill and needs professional help, like Bruce Jenner and other men, who want to become women. I'm not going to go through the whole thing about, genetics, biology, faith, because we've all done that before. Those are the receipts. Those are the facts. And so I applaud Riley Gaines for coming out and basically saying, hey, you know what? By the way, I had a problem with it then. I even have more of a problem now because he showed me his balls. And I'm sure that if she had an instrument, a utensil of some sort, she probably would have lopped them off. I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. I want to see more just like this. Please leave a comment below. Like it, share, subscribe to it. And we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.